Kelly Cougars, and welcome to your online library classroom. This week I am going to introduce Native American Heritage Month, which is celebrated throughout the entire month of November, and of course, return to our learning target, which continues to be finding a just right book using the 5-finger rule. Let's get started. What is Native American Heritage Month? This month, across the United States, we are celebrating the lives, histories, and contributions of Native Americans. While we learn how to find a just right book using the 5-finger rule, we will be taking a closer look at Native American authors and illustrators and books that tell Native American stories. Here is a brief introduction to the holiday.
November is Native American Heritage Month. It honors the indigenous people who lived on the land that became the United States before Europeans arrived. Indigenous people are native to a particular area and often preserve their traditional ways of living. A century ago, a Seneca Indian named Dr. Arthur C. Parker realized that the contributions of Native Americans to the development of America ought to be recognized. He encouraged the Boy Scouts to have a special First Americans Day. Then, in 1914, a Native American Boy Scout named Red Fox James set out on his horse on a 4,000-mile journey to visit the governors of 24 states and gain their support for a national Native American holiday. In 1918, New York declared a state holiday on the second Saturday in May to recognize Native American achievements. Other states followed, and eventually, in 1990, President George H.W. Bush proclaimed all of November as Native American Heritage Month. November is important to many Native Americans as a traditional time for celebration after a successful harvest season. During the month, Native Americans across the country, in both national and local celebrations, share their customs, culture, and legacy. How do you commemorate Native American Heritage Month in your family, school, or community?
All right. Well, one of the ways we are commemorating Native American Month in Kelly Library will be to hear from Native American authors and illustrators and to hear Native American traditional stories. We are going to start the Native American book study with a title called Fry Bread, a Native American family story written by Kevin Noble Maillard, illustrated by Juana Martinez Neal. We're going to hear this story read aloud by the author himself. While listening to the story, try practicing the 5-finger rule. Every time you hear the author read a word you don't know, hold up one finger. Do you think this book would be just right for you to read on your own? How do you know? Remember, the 5-finger rule only is for one page at a time, not the whole book. So just pick one page to practice the 5-finger rule with during the read aloud.
Hi, I'm Kevin Millard, and welcome to Story Hour with me. I'm going to be reading from my book, Fry Bread, which was this year's recipient of the Seibert Medal, and it was illustrated by my friend and colleague, Juana Martinez Neal, and she got some great images of all different looking kinds of Native people, including some members of my own family. I'm an enrolled member of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma, and I know that reading can be a good thing for all of us to escape all of the kind of things that we're experiencing right now. So I'm really excited to share this thing that took a lot of love and energy, and my kids are in it, and my family's in here, and I'm happy to share all of this with you. So let's get right into it. So this is Fry Bread, a Native American family story. Fry bread is food. Flour, salt, water, cornmeal, baking powder, perhaps milk, maybe sugar. all mixed together in a big bowl. Fry bread is shape. Hands mold the dough, flat like a pancake, round like a ball, or puffy like Nana's softest pillow. Fry bread is sound. The skillet clangs on the stove. The fire blazes from below. Drop the dough in the skillet. The bubbles sizzle and pop. Fry bread is color. Golden brown, tan or yellow, deep like coffee, sienna or earth, light like snow and cream, warm like rays of sun. Fry bread is flavor. See beans or soup. Smell tacos, cheese, and vegetables. Delight in honey and jam. Rise to discover what brings us together. Who's that right there? That's me. Fry bread is time. On weekends and holidays, supper or dinner, powwows and festivals, moments together with family and friends. Fry bread is art. Sculpture, landscape, portrait, our daily craft, shared from teacher to student, a cycle of heritage and fortune. Fry bread is history, the long walk, the stolen land, strangers in our own world, with unknown food, we made recipes from what we had. Fry bread is place. Alaska, Kansas, all the way to Maine, down to Delaware, on to Georgia, over to Oklahoma, that's where I'm from, Colorado, and California. Fry bread is nation. Abenaki, Apache, Arapaho, Ojibwe, Onondaga, Oglala Sioux, Narragansett, Navajo, Nipmuc, Seminole, Shoshone, Sac and Fox, hundreds and hundreds of tribes. Fry bread is everything. Round, flat, large, small, north, south, east, and west, brown, yellow, black, and white, familiar and foreign, old and new, we come together. Fry bread is us. We are still here. Elder and young, friend and neighbor. We strengthen each other to learn, change, and survive. Fry bread is you. That's the end of the book, but that's not the end of the story. So in the back of the book, I include a recipe here. See, there's a picture of me here now with short hair. When we were making the book, I had much longer hair, and then I cut it. So this is me with my short hair, and here's a recipe in the back of the book. And then here's a picture of my grandma. She's my great aunt, but I call her my grandma because I never knew my grandma, so then she became my grandma. And so this is kind of her recipe for fry bread that I changed a little bit and made it more modern. I kind of changed some of the ingredients, but I encourage you to go out and do your own cooking this weekend or this week and challenge yourself to make something that you haven't made before. Maybe that could be something like fry bread. Well, I've enjoyed doing this story time with you. I hope you've learned something new. I've enjoyed reading with you, and I hope you've enjoyed seeing some people that are in my family. See, there's me. There's my son right here. Here's my baby. Here's my partner right there. There's my mom. Here's my little niece. And then some other people that we included in there too. So this was great for us to spend some time together and keep reading and definitely go out and make something new and treat yourself to something that tastes really, really good. Bye-bye.
All right. So, did you try the 5-finger rule while listening to one of those pages? How did it go? Was the book too easy for you? Were there no words or only one word on a page that you didn't know? Was it just right? Were there 2 or 3 words on one page you didn't know? Or was it too hard? Were there 4 or 5 words on a page that you don't know? Well, this week's activity, I am asking everyone to record yourself practicing the 5-finger rule with a book from your house or from the Kelly Library book bags. Make a video or record your voice while you read aloud one whole page from a book and put up 1 finger for each word you do not know. Remember the Goldilocks rule. I look forward to seeing your assignments. And don't forget the bonus activity that Kevin shared with us at the end of his read aloud. I have posted here a picture of that recipe in case you and your adult at home would like to try making some fry bread. On one side of the page are the ingredients, and on the other side are the 4 steps for making the recipe. If you decide to do this bonus activity, please share pictures of your fry bread with me on Seesaw. Until next time, Kelly Cougars.